All right, everyone, get ready because today's deep dive is a big one.
Yeah, we're talking Smosh.
That's right, one of the biggest names in YouTube history.
And you guys requested it, so we're going all the way back to the early days of online video.
Back when YouTube was practically brand new.
The wild west of the internet.
We've got a ton of material to dig through, too.
3 whole videos from Foot of Ferret laying out their whole history.
Plus a great analysis by a Sir Surgeoner.
Oh, and of course we've got their Wikipedia page pulled up.
Which honestly reads like a TV drama.
Seriously.
So much has happened.
It's really hard to overstate how much Smosh's story
is basically the story of YouTube.
Exactly. They weren't just along for the ride. They were figuring out the map as they went.
And to really get this, though, we have to rewind even further than YouTube.
Oh, yeah. How far back are we talking?
Probably 2002.
Wow. Okay, so early internet days.
Back when Anthony Padilla was still in high school.
No way. So Smosh predates YouTube.
Oh, yeah, by a few years, actually.
I had no idea.
Yeah, he built this website called Smosh.com.
Smosh.com, like the name.
Yep. It was basically his creative outlet.
What was on it back then?
Mostly Flash animations he made.
Oh, wow. Remember those?
And it became this online hangout spot for him and his friends.
Including Ian Hecox.
You know it. They've been friends since elementary school.
That's incredible. They've been a duo for that long.
Pretty much. And get this, the name Smosh.
Yeah.
Totally an accident.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Anthony apparently misheard someone describing a mosh pit, and, well, it stuck.
That's hilarious. And kind of perfect when you think about it.
Totally. It's like it was meant to be.
But, okay, so Smosh starts with a website in 2002.
And here's the thing. Anthony was paying for Asterisk every single Asterisk animation view out of his own pocket.
Seriously? How come?
Bandwidth was crazy expensive back then.
Oh, right. The early days of the internet. I forgot about that.
So yeah, talk about dedication.
That's serious commitment to your craft right there.
And then a couple years later, everything changes.
What happened? Did they discover video games or something?
Even bigger YouTube enters the scene. It's late 2005.
And the rest, as they say, is history.
Pretty much. They upload this video, a lip sync of the Pokemon theme song.
Of course, it all starts with Pokemon.
Right. It's like a rite of passage for internet comedy.
So what happens? This video takes off.
Oh, yeah. It explodes. It becomes a viral sensation. Millions of views.
Millions. Back then.
Back then. Remember, this is 2005. YouTube was Asterisk, the Asterisk place to be, and Smosh was suddenly on top of the world.
Wow. Talk about being in the right place at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
They got incredibly lucky.
Lucky and smart. They realized this whole YouTube thing wasn't just a fad, it was the future.
So they went all in on making videos.
Oh, yeah. They ditched the lip syncing and jumped headfirst into sketch comedy.
This is where those classic Smosh characters and catchphrases come in.
You got a food battle. That damn neighbor. The If Blank Was Real series. Pure comedic gold.
And their timing couldn't have been better. Because in 2007, something huge happens for them and for YouTube as a whole.
Oh, yeah. What was it?
They get invited to join the YouTube Partner Program, one of the first channels ever.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Do you know what that meant back then?
Actually don't. Tell me more.
Okay, so back then, nobody was making a living off YouTube.
Yeah.
It was just a fun hobby.
Right.
But the Partner Program that changed everything. It meant they could actually get paid for their videos. Suddenly, they weren't just kids goofing off online. They were professional YouTubers, pioneers of a brand new industry.
Wow, talk about being ahead of the curve. They were making a living by making people laugh. What a dream job.
Seriously. And remember, this was before brand deals and sponsorships were a thing. They were making serious bank gap purely from ad revenue.
That's incredible.
It really is. And as their channel blew up, so did YouTube itself.
Yeah.
The competition was getting fierce.
Right. It wasn't just about goofy sketches anymore. Everyone was trying to figure out this whole YouTube thing.
Exactly. And Smosh knew they couldn't just stick to one thing, so they got strategic.
What do you mean?
They started branching out, launching spin-off channels like Smosh Games, even El Smosh, a Spanish-language channel.
They were like the first YouTube empire builders. It was brilliant.
Absolutely. And it wasn't just about reaching a wider audience. They were experimenting, testing the waters with different genres, different formats. They understood that to stay relevant, they had to evolve.
Smart. So how did that go?
Their instincts were spot on. Smosh Games in particular just blew up.
Really? I can see why, though. Everyone loves video games.
Right. They brought in passionate gamers like Mari and Lasercorn, and suddenly they were tapping into this whole new world of gaming content. Remember their Assassin's Creed 3 rap?
Oh, man, that takes me back. Pure nostalgia.
Right. But even with all the success, this period of rapid expansion wasn't without its challenges. And in 2011, at the height of their popularity, they made a decision that would change everything.
Oh, what happened?
They sold Smosh to Alloy Digital, which later became Defy Media.
Whoa, hold on. They sold Smosh, like the whole thing.
Yeah, it was a huge deal.
That's wild, but why would they do that? Weren't they on top of the world?
Oh, it seemed like a good deal at the time, at least on the surface.
What do you mean?
Well, you have to remember the YouTube landscape back then was totally different.
And right, it was still kind of the Wild West.
Exactly. Nobody really knew how to make money off of it besides AdSense.
And Smosh was already killing it with that.
Right, but then Alloy Digital comes along, this big established media company.
He was like they were offering them security.
In a way, yeah. And resources. Alloy had the infrastructure and connections that Smosh didn't.
And I bet that sounded pretty good to two guys who were still figuring things out.
Absolutely. Plus, they didn't even take a big payout up front.
Really? What did they do?
They opted for stock options. It was like they were betting on themselves and the future of online entertainment.
That's a bold move. So what happened? Why didn't it work out?
Well, that's where things get interesting. See, for Anthony, Smosh was always about creative freedom. He was about making people laugh on their own terms.
Which makes sense. They built this whole brand on being relatable, on being themselves.
Exactly. But as Defy Media got more involved, things started to change.
How so?
The focus shifted from making content they loved to playing the corporate game.
What do you mean by that?
Well, suddenly, it was all about brand deals. Optimizing content for the algorithm, chasing those views.
So less about the art, more about the business.
Basically. And if you listen to Anthony in that Surgener video, it's clear how frustrating that was for him.
Yeah, he talks about how Defy Media took over their Facebook page.
Right. And pushed them into this whole fundraising thing for a video game that barely existed.
It sounds like they were losing control of their own brand.
Exactly. And for Anthony, that was a deal breaker. Remember, Smosh built its name on being goofy and spontaneous.
Right.
But under Defy, every video felt like it had to get approved by a committee.
That sounds creatively stifling.
It was. And it ultimately led to Anthony's departure in 2017.
Man, that must have been a tough decision. Leaving the channel he built with his best friend.
It was huge news. It sent shockwaves through the entire YouTube community.
I bet people were genuinely heartbroken.
They were. And it wasn't just fans either. A lot of other YouTubers saw it as this sign of things to come.
Like the beginning of the end of creative freedom on YouTube.
Exactly. This tension between creators and corporations was starting to boil over.
It's that age-old struggle of art versus commerce.
Right. And unfortunately for Defy Media, their story was about to take a very dramatic turn.
Wait, are you talking about them shutting down?
The one and only. In 2018, just a year after Anthony leaves, Defy Media goes belly up.
Whoa, I actually didn't know it happened that fast.
It was sudden and unexpected. 1 minute they were this big digital media powerhouse. The next they were gone.
And Smosh, what happened to them?
Well, imagine this. You've got Smosh, this YouTube juggernaut that suddenly finds itself without a home, without a parent company.
They were orphans.
In a way.
Yeah.
But this is Smosh we're talking about. Their story wasn't over yet. In a plot twist nobody saw coming. They were rescued.
Rescued.
By who?
Okay, get this, because it's almost too perfect. Smosh gets acquired by Red and Link.
You're kidding. The Good Mythical Morning guys.
The one and only.
No way. That's insane. What were they thinking?
It really was a match made in YouTube heaven.
I mean, think about it. Both duos had been through the ringer with corporate YouTube.
Totally. They knew the pressures of that world firsthand.
And on top of that, they had massive respect for each other's work.
No, absolutely. It wasn't just a business deal. There was genuine admiration there.
So it was like a meeting of the minds, a chance to pool resources and support each other.
Exactly. Mythical Entertainment, Red and Link's company, they were all about creator-owned content.
Which is exactly what Smosh needed after that Defy Media disaster. Right. They knew what Smosh was going through and wanted to give him a fresh start.
That's awesome. So how'd it go? Did Smosh manage to recapture that old magic?
They did more than that. They came back swinging. New series, new collaborators. They even launched a podcast, Smoshcast.
Wow. They were busy. It sounds like they were re-energized by this whole thing.
Oh, totally. You could tell they were excited to be working with people who got him.
Okay, I have to ask. Did they stick to their classic style, or did they experiment with new formats under Mythical?
It was a really good balance, actually. They knew their fans loved those classic Smosh sketches.
Of course. Those are iconic.
Right? So they kept making those, but they also used this opportunity to try new things. Like they leaned into more unscripted content with Smosh Pit.
Which makes sense. They'd already had success with that format.
Exactly. And of course, they kept going strong with Smosh games.
Gotta keep the gamers happy.
Right. And then just when you thought it couldn't get any better,
What? Don't leave me hanging.
Anthony comes back.
No way. Seriously.
Seriously, in 2023, Anthony Padilla returns to Smosh.
That's incredible. It's like a storybook ending.
I know, right? But it gets even better.
It does. How?
Not only does Anthony come back, but together, he and Ian, they buy back Smosh.
Wait, hold on. They bought it back from Rhett and Link.
Yep. Smosh was once again owned and operated by its original creators.
That is amazing. Talk about a full circle moment.
Right. After all that corporate turmoil, they ended up right back where they started, independent and in control.
That's gotta feel good.
I can't even imagine. But it really speaks to Rhett and Link's characters, too.
Totally. It's like they swooped in, saved the day, and then handed over the reins when the time was right.
They were the ultimate mentors.
It's really inspiring, actually. But let's be real for a second. It's a different world out there now than it was back when Smosh started.
Oh, yeah. You think?
I mean, YouTube is a completely different beast now. It's not just a bunch of friends having fun anymore.
It's a business.
Exactly. A multi-billion-dollar business with algorithms and brand deals and cutthroat competition.
So where does that leave Smosh? Can they still compete in this new landscape?
That's a million-dollar question, isn't it? They've definitely got their work cut out for them.
But if anyone can do it, it's them.
Why do you say that?
Because they've adapted every step of the way. They've evolved, faced challenges, and come out stronger each time.
That's true. They've definitely got resilience.
And let's not forget, they're incredibly talented and funny.
Absolutely. But it's more than just being funny these days.
Oh, for sure. You've got to be smart, too. You've got to understand the game and how to play it.
So what's the secret sauce then? How can they, or any creator for that matter, stand out in this crowded digital world?
It's about finding that sweet spot.
Yeah.
You know, between what made them successful in the first place, that genuine connection with the audience, and what works on YouTube today.
Though it's a balancing act.
It really is.
Yeah.
But if they can keep that Smosh spirit alive while staying true to themselves...
I think they'll be just fine.
Me too.
Well, this has been an incredible deep dive.
We covered a lot of ground, from those early days on Smosh.com, to the rise and fall of Defy Media, to the triumphant return of Anthony Padilla.
It's a wild story. And it's not over yet.
Definitely not. So for anyone out there who dreams of making it big on YouTube...
or anywhere, really.
Take notes. Smosh's journey is proof that with hard work, a little bit of luck, and a whole lot of heart...
anything is possible.
Cheers to that.
Cheers. And that's a wrap on our Smosh Deep Dive. Join us next time for another look into the fascinating world of online creators.